something sinister in the air. Something. Take a few days. My mom caved and got the $30 soda.
Currently scaling all of the walls of the convention center and tearing through the concrete with her bare hands.
Got a Spider-Man to
Okay, watch out for goob. Hey, what's up guys? I'm Bree, the artist behind Stitching Witch, and we are officially all set up at Fan Expo New Orleans. We've got a bit of a different display going on this time. This is the first time I've ever flown a booth size this large to an event, and honestly, we're testing. It was honestly so much hard work figuring out how to fit all of this into luggage and get all of this from Kentucky all the way to New Orleans, but I'm super stoked with how it came out, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a booth tour. It is officially Friday, day one of the convention, which means we are about to open doors at 1 o'clock and go till 8 p.m. So this is the latest day of the convention. It was supposed to storm. It's not storming yet, so I'm optimistic that the crowds will be pretty big, but I'll go ahead and give you guys a booth tour, tell you what's going on that's a little bit different from our standard convention because we are doing things a bit differently than normal. Cool, thank you. So let's see what's going on. With this convention, I decided to come last minute. I've been here before. This is actually the first convention I've ever attended, so it's really full circle and really cool to be back here, especially going from living in New Orleans and driving to this convention versus living in Kentucky and flying all my stuff and setting up from scratch. It has been so surreal, so cool to be back. I've always done very well at this show. My setup is bigger and better than it was in previous years. I don't think I've been back to this event since 2024, I believe. So it's been about, I've missed two of them. So we'll see how things have changed. We'll see how my new booth setup, my wider array of designs holds up with an event that used to treat me with a lot of kindness. So because I got on the wait list for this event last minute, I wasn't planning to come to Fan Expo New Orleans. I ended up in the vendor hall. So I'm not with the artist alley, so this will be the first time I've ever vended in the exhibitors side. But with all Fan Expo events, the exhibitors hall and the artist alley are in the same room, which I think is very beneficial. I would have been hesitant to join like the dealer's den side if it were in a separate building. I feel like that would affect foot traffic pretty substantially compared to having us all in one space. I have a lot of extra signage today, making sure everybody knows I'm an artist. All of this is handmade. I embroider everything in-house, all of that good stuff to encourage sales because I do think that's important. So when I got on the artist alley wait list, they reached out to me and let me know they had a couple booths left in the vendor hall that they would give to me for the artist alley price, which was really cool. Typically, your vendor's hall exhibitor space is about $1,200, and I got it for the premium artist alley price of $850, which is still expensive, but that is what I'm used to paying for a Fan Expo event, so I thought that was really kind of them. We have a really good spot from the entrance. We are the very first row, or I guess the very last row, depending on how you look at it. But when you come in to the main entrance right around the corner, if you take a right and start all the way on the right hand side of the convention center, you hit us practically first. We're like the second booth in. So I felt very encouraged to get this vendor space. I feel like it's in a really prime location. We are right across from a petting zoo, which is crazy, and we're right across from Wild Bill's, which is a soda shop that I see at every convention and not always has a long line. So I am feeling like we're gonna be in really good shape. These are the badges for this year. It's the first time, oh, that must have been so loud in your mic, I'm sorry. First time I've ever had a badge that said exhibitor instead of artist alley. It's crazy, but kind of cool, new experience, you know? So I'm very excited to compare and contrast this year compared to previous years, as well as this side of the hall compared to the artist alley side of the hall. I also have this real big banner up here, handmade apparel, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So I feel like it really, it closes in the space and makes it very much feel like a storefront, which I think is really cool. And like you guys, I have to brag on myself. Like, I'm so impressed by my ability to put this many things on an airplane. Like, this is crazy, and it probably gave me gray hair, and I wanted to cancel so bad because I was so stressed, but we're here and it looks great. And I knew that by the time I got it all set up, I was gonna be like, that was so worth it. That was nothing. It wasn't nothing, but it was worth it. Another thing to note is, despite us being on the exhibitor side, some of my art friends and art mutuals are like scattered right around the corner from us, as well as some really big name artists that I really admire. So I don't think being on the vendor side is really gonna feel too much like the vendor side for attendees. It does feel like more of a mixed bag. I don't think it's gonna feel like such a harsh divide between artists and vendors because so many of us artists are on this side anyway. So all in all, I think it's gonna be a great show. One thing that is really cool and special about this show is it is my excuse to come back home and see my family, which is the driving force behind me saying, like, if I'm gonna learn to fly my extremely large setup to conventions, the best place to do it would be back home where I have a lot of help around me. If anything were to go wrong, if I were to need any assistance, I get all this extra quality time with my family in the meantime while I get to work. So because of that, I did end up having a few extra booth helpers this weekend, like my sister. Hi, sister.
Hello.
And my mom will actually be coming in and out throughout the weekend as well. So lots of new faces for you guys. Really excited to share all that with you. So stay tuned for more because the crowd is getting thick and I don't want the camera to fall. One thing of note that we're going to try to be aware of throughout this event is because this is a checkout counter type of booth behind us, we're going to have to be careful that the line doesn't start to pour into our bubbles.
What I think I'm gonna do is take a TSA approach. And so, you know how they're like, take your shoes off, laptops, take it out the back. I'm just gonna do the same thing. Go, if you could please snake the line, do not stand directly out, snake the line, please. And just, you know, at the end of the day, it's a con. We'll do our best. And, you know, people will probably turn around from grabbing their Wild Bill's beverage and say, wow, look at all this fantastic crochet, embroidery, and apparel. Get a load of this guy. Get it. I was gonna grab a piece, but it's gonna mess up the display, and I can't do that yet. Not in good conscience. You know what? Get a load of this guy. That's what they're gonna say.
That's our thumbnail, thumbnail. Nice. I am about to let you guys go so I can hurry up and take some pictures of me in front of the booth because I always forget to do that. So let's do that before anybody tries to buy anything.
And maybe content.
And we gotta film some reels. Running out of time a little bit. One final interesting thing to note before I stop yapping. I'm working on it, is that I am doing a menu style for my jackets, which I never do. When I do settle behind the booth, I'll show you the behind the booth tour, everything I've got going on back there. It's a little convoluted and strange, but obviously I was not bringing those giant heavy grid walls in a plane. So we're working with this. I think it looks awesome. We will see how practical and easy it is to pull inventory from the back to accommodate this. Won't know until we try, so we're gonna figure it out together, but it looks pretty good. At the end of the day, that's what matters, right? As long as it looks cute. Who cares if I'm back there fumbling around? No one will know. You guys will know, but we're besties, so that doesn't count. Wow, so cute. Oop, we gotta fix that sign. This is crazy. Look at the pigs. We have pigs by our booth. Like, what is going on? That is insane. That clearly said no pictures or videos unless you wanted to pay like a lot of money, but the things I do for the vlog, I snuck one anyway. Had to be done. It had to be done.
Did you go and look at the pigs?
They said no pictures or videos unless you want to pay like a ton of money, but they weren't looking, so I videoed the pigs anyway.
As a warrior of the law.
I'll do anything for the vlog.
Y'all are so lucky. You have no idea.
I didn't get close though. I didn't want her to notice me because I didn't want to get in trouble. All right, let me go ahead and give you a little tour of what I've got going on behind the booth. This is completely new to me. I'm sure you saw in previous footage the way my grid cubes are set up. This time I've got everything raised up one full grid cube. So I'm using the entire bottom of the grid cube system as storage for my crew necks. It's not enough for all my crew necks, but I'll show you what I've got going on. So directly under my checkout counter, I've got my cash bank as well as my thank you bags. Got my card reader, my inventory sheet for my crew necks. And then going down this way, I've got all the crew necks stored, going from small closest to me all the way to 2XL closest to Brooke. And then back here, I found this nice little crevice that none of the vendors are using because there's a big hole right here, so it's not really anybody's boot space. So I've got all of the backstock crew necks all tucked in right here. There's a couple things I really love about the menu style setup with the crew necks. First of all, it looks wonderful. Second, it is really easy to set up. It takes a fraction of the time. I hate my grid cube wall that I do the jackets with. I'll put a little clip in case you are new here. I didn't even say that in the intro. If you're new here, hi, I'm so happy to have you. So welcome to the vlog. This is a really good one to jump in on because it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm glad you're here.
Can I say hi to the new people? If you're new here, hi.
That's Mike.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's me.
It's Mike. Where was I? Okay, so the big grid ball is a nightmare. It's heavy, it's clunky. I have to screw the pieces together. It hurts my hands. I have to use the kind that screw in the middle for it to fit in my car, but they're very impractical and I hate them. They work really well. They sell really well, but I hate them. So it's really satisfying to have everything up just on the display up there. And I also really like conceptually having everything lint rolled, folded, sealed, protected in these nice little bags like this. A couple of things that I don't like. I ran out of my eco-friendly bags and it was too late in the game for me to order more. It was too close to my deadline, so I did have to order these plastic ones. I'm not big on single-use plastic for my business. A lot of the materials I use are high quality. I like to keep with mostly cotton where I can. My crew necks are recycled fabrics. They are recycled materials. I try to source ethically sourced blanks as much as humanly possible. So single-use plastic is definitely not my jam. In the future, I'm going to backstock a lot more eco-friendly bags so that I don't ever have to get in a pinch and order some off Amazon. Another thing that was a big con in this setup is this took forever. Like embroidering, cutting the stabilizer, cutting the threads, folding, bagging, labeling, all of the inventory that I brought took like 3 full 8-hour days of prep. It was miserable and I felt like it was eating into like my profitable time. So I'm not really sure how I can fix that in the future. It's really just gonna depend on the success of this setup, if it's worth it, but ooh, it was not fun. I did not enjoy it. So definitely worth considering if you're keeping a lot of backstock like I am. Hi, Cash Card or Apple Pay? Okay guys, my sister walked around and went shopping, so we've got a little mini haul for you guys. Is it all milky tomato? So if you watched my Fan Expo Chicago vlog, don't, it's bad. I had all kinds of technical difficulties, but if you did and you saw, I was booth neighbors with Milky Tomato. She's here at this Fan Expo as well. So I had showed you guys the mini haul I had done with her, and now we have another Milky Tomato haul. Show me the bag, it's so cute. Look at her branding, look how precious. So we've got the little Milky Tomato pin. Oh, these are cute. Her booth is super clown core, super like primary colors and like lots of vibrant art. It's great. Little sticker sheet. So as far as hauls go for the weekend, we're off to a very strong start. So Milky Tomato gave her this as a freebie because it matches her outfit. Look, that's so good. So it is almost 4 o'clock. It's like 3:30. It is pretty slow, but VIP was from 1 to 3. So that's pretty much to be expected, especially on a Friday. Like, of all the fan expos I've done, it's pretty consistent that Friday is slow, starts to pick up towards the end of the day. Of course, Saturday is the craziest and Sunday is somewhere in the middle. It tends to flip-flop on whether Sunday or Friday are better. Typically, they're pretty neck and neck for me. It's been a couple years since I've been at this fan expo, so I don't really remember which was my preference back in the day, but it's already tangible that people are starting to file in now that it's open to the general public and not just VIP. Additionally, with a show like this where there's a large focus on celebrities, autographs, meet and greets, things like that, people buy VIP to get a head start to get in those lines. You know what I mean? They don't get a head start in the artist alley. They want to go line up to meet their celebrities. And that makes total sense. Like if you're going to pay extra, that would definitely be the primary benefit for something like that. I'm not sure if I'm optimistic on my booth placement or not. However, I was promised a prime spot in the vendor hall. They said it was going to be right by the main entrance. They did imply that the entrance was going to be like right next to me. And while there is an entrance close to me, I'll attach a video of like the walk to my booth. They have proceeded to open up a different entrance closer to like the main entrance into the convention center. So traffic is not filing through the prime entrance that they made it seem like I was going to be having. So it's too soon to tell if that's going to negatively impact sales or not, because as it stands, I am in the farthest row. I'm hopeful that people will still find a reason to come over here, especially with the soda shop being across from me. I know they're very popular, and the petting zoo being a few booths down. Like, fingers crossed, it could level out. It could be totally fine, but like, I am definitely like eager to start seeing some better movement on my aisle. Additionally, we had a little bit of a hiccup loading in yesterday, and that has happened every year that I've loaded in at the convention center here in New Orleans. I don't know if that is a Fan Expo thing, a convention center thing. I think my load in with Fan Expo Chicago is typically smoother, and I just think that all in all, this convention center has a lot of strict rules compared to some of the other events that I've worked, and that led to a lot of miscommunication between Fan Expo staff and convention center staff. They did close the loading dock earlier than advertised, so we weren't able to load in when we were supposed to. And then following that, because we weren't able to load in from the loading dock, I had to hand carry large boxes of very heavy merchandise. And typically I travel with a wagon, but because I flew, obviously, I shipped the boxes, had everything else in luggage on wheels with the intent of just taking things straight in from the loading dock and calling it a day. So having to walk very far carrying those boxes was difficult. We were sweating, we were tired. It set us back a solid hour last night in setting up, so we were scrambling to get done this morning. We did get everything done, but it was frustrating for sure. I felt like there were a lot of wires that got crossed, and because of that, I wasn't able to check in last night.
This is the most perfect thing I've ever seen.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. But all of that is not a big deal, especially because we were able to be set up at time. Like, it's water under the bridge, you know? I don't think I've ever really had like a perfect setup anywhere other than maybe MomoCon. I'd say MomoCon was a pretty seamless load in, load out situation. But generally there's always gonna be some sort of hiccup, give and take type situation with a load in. It just comes with the territory. I always come into conventions prepared for that. So it's really not that big of a deal. It was just something to note. If you do this convention, I would recommend coming as early for loadout as possible if your booth does take a while to get settled in, because we did wait towards the end of the day because I drove in from visiting family in another town in Louisiana, and you know, it was down to the wire, and part of that was on us. So also, it's freezing cold in here. If you're one of those people that really are temperature sensitive or care a lot about that sort of thing with the cosplay you're wearing, or like if you're gonna be here all day like me vending, it's freezing. And I mean, doors did just open. I'm sure we're about to see a larger influx of people coming in. That's going to warm it up considerably. But this is the coldest I've been in a convention in a long time. Just sold the first Hornet, so I'm down to one Hornet and one Hollow Knight. First big plushie to go. So I got a chicken sandwich for lunch, and in the picture it's one of those like heavily crunchy breaded chicken sandwiches. It had like a sauce and sweet pickles and all this, and then it's $17. Michael just went and got it for me and came back. What is this? There's nothing on it, it's bone dry. What do we think this is? Dude, convention food vendors are out of their minds. So the first convention I ever brought crochet to, like the first like big crochet collection I ever did, was my second year at Fan Expo New Orleans a few years ago. Really big Kurama, like the nine-tailed fox from Naruto. And this boy went back and forth all weekend, and he really wanted him, and he ended up purchasing him, and it was the most expensive crochet piece I had made to date. It was $200, and then we moved away. We haven't been to New Orleans to vend in a while, and I posted today that I would be here, and he just came by the booth. I haven't seen him since, and he said that he came straight from the entrance to my booth, and he knew he wanted to buy the most expensive plushie I had again, which is just an unbelievable thing to say to me. Like, I know I say it in the vlogs a lot, but I can never get over the fact that people love my art this much and consistently come back and want to keep spending money with me. Like, it means the world to me. Like, it's everything. I love my job. This is why I do it, you know? And so he came and he bought 2 plushies from me. I've got them behind the booth right now. He adopted the Naruto to go with the Kurama, and my Hollow Knight plushie. So I'm gonna hold them for him while he walks around. And I actually have a picture of him with the plushie when he adopted it, because I was just so giddy I wanted to document it. So I'll put that picture in right here for you guys so you can see. So it's a really cool full circle moment. I think a lot about the fact that, you know, I was doing this convention when I first started out, and I was like learning to table conventions as opposed to smaller local events, and it was getting my feet wet, and it was a learning curve, and I was slowly growing my stock and learning how to build my booth bigger and better. And now down the line, I'm flying home with this big booth, and I'm still able to set it up. I'm traveling to the show instead of it just being in my backyard, and I'm still seeing repeat customers even though I haven't lived in the state for over 2 years. Like, it is just unbelievable. So I'm feeling very warm and fuzzy. I just wanted to pop in and tell you about that because I thought that was really cool. Checking in at 5:45 on day one, and this is the worst day one of any convention I've ever been to, including this one. I've been here multiple times. If you see behind me, there's very, very few people here. It is just like criminally slow. So I don't know. I haven't made back expenses, not by a long shot. So I'm really hoping that this isn't the tone set for the whole weekend. I'm really hoping that the crowd shows up over the course of the next 2 days, because this is not the Fan Expo I remember. And this is certainly not a Fan Expo worth flying to. Fridays are always slow because, you know, people have to work and whatever, but like, there's barely anybody here, like, at all. I can't stress enough that nobody's shopping. Like, there's just nothing going on today at all. So as of now, this is the first convention I've ever not made expenses back on the first day, so.
Hey guys, it's Mike. So as of right now, your favorite Stitching Witch employee, me, is going to be doing the outro. Stitching Witch Diva is down. She is currently scaling all of the walls of the convention center and tearing through the concrete with her bare hands. It's honestly kind of impressive, but I don't want to show you because, like, I can't provide you guys with this footage. You just had to be there. We're about 45 minutes out, so we're going to be shutting down pretty soon, getting ready for tomorrow. I personally feel like tomorrow it's all going to pick up. We had some rain that came through today. It's a Friday. People are getting off of work and dealing with kids. And if this is a 30,000 foot traffic con, I think that's around what it hovers at. There just weren't a lot of people here today, honestly. And what's stranger is there was a lot of people that just didn't have bags. You know, it was a lot of window shopping, which, hey, do what you gotta do. Every house needs a window, am I right? We'll see you guys tomorrow. Be sure to tune in. There's a lot of good stuff coming up.
I didn't come into the show with like a ton of expectation because, you know, my overhead was a bit higher flying, and it's a mid-tier con. It's nothing too crazy, but I mean, I know the numbers I've made in previous years, and I am a little worried we're not going to hit those. We will keep pushing. I mean, Saturday is always like a definitive day, but even with my normal booth expenses for like driving cons, we still wouldn't have made them back today. So very unusual, very strange. Something sinister in the air. Something is amiss. We don't know what it is yet, but I think we will figure it out. Good morning. It is day 2 of Fan Expo New Orleans. We are officially all set up for doors opening in about 10 minutes, and we're looking awfully stocked today, which is unusual for this event, but I am optimistic that when I check back in at the end of the day, the booth will not be looking like this anymore. So cons for this con, obviously, because of the way yesterday went, like, I always prefer to make back my expenses on day 1, so that day 2, the biggest day, is always just hitting the ground running with profit. That's pretty much the standard everybody keeps in an artist alley for all of these events. Very unusual, in my opinion, for this event to have performed the way it did yesterday. But what I've been hearing around the artist alley is that it was like this last year too, which is crazy. That's quite a decline in performance from the years I was here. But everybody's saying that even though last year's Friday was abysmal, Saturday was amazing. So I guess we will all be the judge of that today. The pro to having a full table going into Saturday is I have a full table going into Saturday. It's gonna catch people's attention from much further away than if I were going in with pretty sparse inventory, which is something I encounter a lot at Fan Expo Chicago. A lot of times my plushies get picked through pretty early on Friday, and I always kind of scramble to make the booth look full going into Saturday so that you don't walk by and kind of glance and be like, oh, like they look like they don't really have anything, you know. So that's kind of the mindset I'm working with today. It also works in my favor a little bit just because I only had 3 weeks to prep for this event. The stock you see is the stock I have, and so if I could stretch the crochet out for like at least the first half of the weekend to keep stock looking full, I think that benefits me from like a retail perspective. So that's my cope. That's what we're working with today. First check-in of Saturday, it is 10:35, doors open at 9:30, and when I tell you I made back what I made yesterday in the first 20 minutes today. Thank goodness. But it's been crazy so far. I have sold out of a ton of crochet, especially my bigger ticket items. So the booth is already starting to look a little sparse on hour 1, which is a blessing and a curse. I pulled some of the pigment back here to create a little bit of sense of urgency to sell the first 3 since I made 9 and I still have all 9. So hopefully I can start moving the pigment little by little and putting them out as I go. The crowd is crazy. I mean, let me show you what we're seeing so far. And the event has just started. Like, there are people everywhere. And we are still having this situation with like the Wild Bills line wrapping every which way, but we haven't had any issues with it coming into the booth. And that is all that matters to me. So I'm feeling better. Feeling optimistic and eager and excited to see how things go for the rest of the day. The crew necks aren't selling super well, and I'm not quite sure if it's a self-serve deal or a price deal. We'll see how that goes. I may adjust the price towards the end of the day if I'm not moving them at the rate I want to. Otherwise, it might just be because I'm used to having them self-serve, and self-serve always does a little bit better. But I mean, it's a convention and most people do menu style for things like this. So hopefully that balances out soon because I do not want to ship my boxes back home. Okay guys, checking in. It is 1:15 and it's packed out here. I'll flip you around and show you what's going on. There are a ton of people, but I don't know if you noticed, there's not a ton of shopping bags. So this is not the Fan Expo New Orleans I remember. We've made back our expenses, which is, always the goal, but looking at my numbers from previous years, we are definitely not in the position we should be. This is probably not worth traveling to. I'd say a few years ago it absolutely was, but with the way things are going now, I definitely would not advise traveling to this. I've been talking to some artists around here and it's pretty mutual feelings across the board. Like, the people are here, but they're not shopping. So we're slow and steady. I'm making sales. Like, we're okay, but we're not thriving in the way that we should be. So at the beginning of the day, I did sell out of a lot of the larger crochet plushies, and that has eased up a little bit, but I've sold out of some of the medium plushies as well. So I'll be interested to see how much I'm left with by the end of Sunday. You're all set. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. All right, you're good to go. Thank you. Enjoy your day. And can I get you a receipt? Okay. You're good to go. Thank you. Enjoy your con. 2 o'clock check-in and we are trending upwards. It's getting crazy hectic out here, so I'm hoping to see this pacing continue for the majority of the remainder of the day. We're about to have a nice lunch break and take a breather, maybe get off my feet for a minute, but things are going super smooth and super good so far, so we're having a great time. I think the best seller of the weekend so far have been my overstimulated and my possum designs. They are doing excellent and I always love to see that. So I have applied to some conventions this year that are going to be 6-foot inline tables, and that is crazy because how on earth, in what universe am I going to condense down my big old setup full of clothing down to a 6-foot table? I don't know. I think I'm delusional. I applied anyway. I am trying to be extra vigilant, paying attention to what's most popular throughout the course of this con and my next con coming up, so I could really start to hone in on what my booth would look like if I were to narrow down my designs considerably. So I'll just throw out there that if you've been looking at anything that has been in my shop for a long time, there is a potential for me to take it down coming up shortly. So I never intended for my collection to be this large, so I think that it's overdue for me to focus on mostly originals, and I don't think I need to have so many designs all the time. It's strenuous on me. The workload is tough, so I would much rather start narrowing down what I'm working with. I don't know if I've updated you guys yet, but my next convention will be the Lexington Toy and Comic Con. I do have some events before then, but my next anime convention is going to be the Lexington Toy and Comic Convention. It's going to be at the end of March. And then the one that I would have immediately following that, the applications are still pending, so fingers crossed we get in. I will keep you guys updated on that as soon as I know. When this is out, I will have updated my 2026 schedule on my website as well. So if you're ever wondering where to find me, you can always check my scheduled lineup over there. I update it frequently as I continue to get acceptances into conventions. So be sure to keep up with that as much as possible if you're ever curious if we'll be at the same place at the same time. Since I am trending towards traveling all over the US this year, hopefully I'll be popping into your city for the first time. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be quite the challenge, but I am eager and willing to grow. This is definitely the year for me to master flying with my stuff. It's going to be a leap of faith for me that I think is really valuable. So I'm excited about it. I'm a little terrified, but I think if I don't grasp the excitement, I'm gonna get scared. So, and if I can get this travel circuit going the way I want, I have a ton of new product lines that are not apparel that I have been designing, and no spoilers yet because I don't want to jinx it, but I should have some really, really special stuff coming to you guys by the end of the year, which end of the year sounds crazy to say considering it's January, but you know, good things take time, and I'm not gonna dive in head first until I know for sure that I've got everything laid out exactly the way I want. So if you want to keep up with the potential for some really, I want to spoil it so bad, I can't, but if you want to stay tuned for some really, really special products that are coming out throughout the course of this year, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I just love sharing this space with you guys. I exceeded my subscriber goal for 2025. I was so honored, so I'm eager to see how this year is going to go. I love this vlogging experience, and because I'm doing so many conventions now, I get to make so much good content for you guys. So yeah, those are the big focus of 2026 is really honing in on my YouTube, creating a lot of meaningful content, starting new product lines that I've been dreaming of working on for years, and starting to travel around more. I am getting married at the end of this year, and so I'm trying to lock in. We got a honeymoon to pay for. We got a honeymoon to plan. Like I'm trying to expand my audience. If that's my soapbox, that's what's next for Stitching Witch. So if you're interested in any of that, stick around, be besties. We already are besties, but like if you want to stay besties, you have to stay. The way I built this booth up, sitting makes me pretty short, and it's kind of awkward. Like that's the checkout counters up here. So when I'm sitting, I'm like awkward, very awkward. So I've been trying not to do it, but gonna have to take a little break. Checking in, it is 6 o'clock, which means we have 1 hour left for Saturday. We did okay. We did well, but not the numbers I would like and not the numbers we normally hit on a Saturday at this particular event. Can't complain. It's not what I'm accustomed to here, but that's probably going to be the trend of the whole weekend. But one thing I really do love about this con, even if I would rank this con very low in my experience, it's Friend Con for me. I'm back in my hometown, and it's really wonderful to have an excuse to come and see everybody, and nothing warms my heart more than having so many friends come to my booth over the course of the weekend. I feel like I've at this point seen like 10 friends in the last 2 days that have come to the booth, brought their friends, like come to hang out, and that just means the world to me. So I mean, at the end of the day, if all else fails, that's one of the most valuable things I could get out of this experience, you know? So that makes me feel really warm and fuzzy, and like, I don't know, I've had a good day. So you know, we'll see how things go tomorrow, but as of now, I'm just happy to see everybody that I haven't been able to see that often since I moved out of state. So yeah, we'll check back in when we're wrapping up. I'll show you guys the booth tour of what we've got left, and then we will touch base for Sunday, day 3, and the final day of Fan Expo.
Thank you.
Of course, enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
I'd love to get these.
Absolutely. And do you prefer cash card or Apple Pay?
I've got card.
Card.
That's okay.
Ready right there for you.
Alrighty, thank you.
And would you like a receipt?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
I can get in the bag. There we
No
go.
worries.
All right, you're good to go. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Crazy haul from my friend Rab. They stepped away, but I'm bagging everything up right now, so I'll show you everything they got. Got Bulbasaur, Yellow Pikmin, 2 Mushy Boys, a hanging Spider-Man, and a Stardew Valley sticker. And they don't know it yet, but I'm giving them freebies because I love them and they are so supportive and wonderful. So I'm giving them one of my logo stickers, a Kirby keychain, and a No Thoughts pin. And they watch my vlogs, so Rab, if you're watching this, I love you so much. Thank you so much for the haul.
Tell the people. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rabbit Farewell here. I'm gonna show you what I got from a Stitching Witch haul. So here we've got a Spider-Man hoodie for my, not hoodie, a little hangy dangly bangly bang boy from my best friend Andre. And then we've got the Mushroom Twins for my best friends Emmy and Harley. It's gonna go so cute together. And then for my best friend Kira, I've got a Yellow Pikmin. I was gonna get a puppy cat, but hey man, if there's one thing that they're gonna sell out of, it's a puppy cat. And then for myself, because obviously I have to treat myself well, I got a cuddable Bulbasaur. Because a couple of years ago, you know, I'm a longtime fan, I bought my favorite hat from her, and it broke.
Let's take a real...
It broke. I wore that dag down. Wah, wah. But that's all.
We are wrapping up from day 2 of Fan Expo New Orleans. Here is what we are left with at the end of the day. The crochet is looking a little sparse. We've sold out of a few embroidery designs as well. If you look over here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but we've started to mark out some sizes that we no longer have. So we are about to wrap things up, get everything draped, and check back in for day 3. So I will see you there, guys. Bye. Good morning. It is day 3, the third and final day of Fan Expo New Orleans, and we are all set up and ready to go. I condensed down part of the corner of this booth. Can you see it? You can't see it because of Michael. Yeah, and I moved the enamel pins over there because they weren't really selling where I had them previously. I was able to spread the bucket hats out a little bit, move the keychains and things over into this cubby so that you could more clearly see what they were priced at. And from there, yeah, we're just ready to see how the day goes. We are starting the day with a decent amount of stock. Sold out of a couple things so far, but all in all, we have just a little bit of everything left. I'm running on fumes today because the fire alarm at the hotel that we're staying at went off at like 4 in the morning.
It was bad. It was real bad.
And it wasn't like a siren sound. It was like a warning. There is a fire emergency. Please exit.
Get out now.
On loop at maximum volume. So my restful slumber that I was hoping to get for the last day and for breakdown.
So graciously interrupted.
It did not happen. I'm about to drink some coffee, try to eat some breakfast because the doors are officially open, and then from there we will just touch base once I'm settled and make our way through the day. I have lots of stories for you guys from yesterday, but you will not be hearing them until at least 2/3 of this coffee are in my body. So I will check back with you guys as soon as I'm caffeinated. Oh, my bad. Let me ban. Okay, I spent the last 20 minutes or so walking around the artist alley with my sisters. So we're gonna go check in on Michael, see if he's made us lots and lots of money. It's relatively busy right now. We got a lot going on for a Sunday, so let's go check in on him and see what he's got going on. Pit stop. Just like I was saying yesterday, you know, regardless of how sales go this weekend, whether they're up or down or the same as previous Fan Expo New Orleans or whatever, at the end of the day, it's an excuse for me to come home and see my family and my friends. So that really just makes it worth it no matter what. So yeah, love FriendCon. Always a good time. As you can see though, compared to where I just was, it's always a little sparse on this back row that they put us in compared to the other aisles. I definitely don't think that this was the booth they promised me, but it is what it is, so. Wow. Employee of the Month 1 and 2. So since I'm technically home for Christmas right now, as opposed to a couple weeks ago, I have my grandma's Christmas cookies with me. And honestly, guys, oh my God, I can't open it. Oh. This is better than actual Christmas to me. I'm so excited. I just felt like you guys needed to see this. These are the best ones, the cheesecake ones. And she makes all of them from scratch. And I think today I'm gonna eat the entire box because I fly out tomorrow. So they have to go somewhere, and the right place for them to go is in my stomach. So yeah, I'm gonna turn it off. You guys don't need to see the animal I'm about to become. I just wanted you to know what was happening. I will continue to do Chicago. I may try to get into MegaCon or Boston, but even with this being in my hometown, this con will never see me again. Like, I cannot stress to you guys the difference this year is compared to every other year I've done it. Like, some conversations need to be had, but they won't be had by me. I'll keep them to myself. I would rank this con like a D tier. What used to be probably like a B tier con for me, I'd say is totally a D tier for me now. The only thing that makes it worthwhile is that I got to see like 15 friends over the course of this weekend. Like, and that is just like, I know I've harped on it a lot, but that's just like the biggest gift from the standpoint of somebody who moved away very recently. Like, this has just been, you know, wonderful. But other than that, don't travel for this. Please save yourself the heartache. Don't travel for this event. Coming up next, you can expect, honestly, a really special vlog that I have had tabled for about a month now, but I'm really excited to share. I'm going to be hand making a crochet plush, and it's going to be entirely based on an inspo board that I've been given. So the final product is completely up to my discretion, just going off of the vibes of the pictures, and I think it's going to be a really fun and exciting challenge, and I'm going to document the entire process, and so that way we can put together this cutie pie little baby together. So if you're into that type of thing, if you want to see how my creative process works, definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and this one is for a friend, but like maybe moving forward I'll do some like custom slots for it or something. I don't know, I think it could be really fun. So that's coming up next. I hope you can look forward to that. From there, I'm gonna have hopefully back-to-back weekend going into February, but I still need to sit down and actually fill out one of the 2 applications. But I am planning to do Galentine's next, which is full circle for me. It's the very first event I ever vlogged, so that's gonna be super fun to come back around and see the improvements, and boy have there been improvements, because my first couple vlogs were something. But we've got that in the works, and then hopefully one more event that weekend, and then from there I'll be at Lexington Toy and Comic Con in March, and then I am waiting to hear back for my next convention that will be in April. So we're gonna be fully stacked, booked and busy, coming up very soon. It's gonna take a few days. Is that for me? You guys, oh my God. Wait, let me put you guys on the tripod so that you can get the full experience. My sister just got me a print. Oh my God. It's so cute. If you watched my redecorating my office vlog, you saw that I finally cleared out some space and created a gallery wall, which is very sparse, and this is going to take up so much space in the best way. It's perfect, and it matches all the colors in my office, so I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Okaruna's best boy, so I'm stoked. And look, we'll go ahead and continue with a haul of everything they got. Oh my God, wait. I may have to go back to this booth and get more stuff. Do you have the artist name? Do you know? Brown Rabbits is the artist. She got the blue Pikmin.
I think they have an Instagram.
Oh my goodness. And best girl. Oh my goodness, best girl. What a good haul. I've been in such a Persona 5 kick lately. I'm obsessed with every character, the entire game, all of it. And so I've been desperately looking for Persona 5 merch, which is a little bit easier said than done. I know that the game's been out for a while now. So I had seen a couple things floating around. I may take another lap later, because ultimately that's what I want to find the most. I did just get a new Ida bag, and so I haven't decided if I want to make it like a special interest bag and do all one character, or if I want to do a collection of a lot of things, because I have trinkets and pins and things on most of my bags. So I already have some that are like a mixed type deal. But if I had to start with one special interest right now, it would probably be Joker. And then I'll probably trade that out over time. But thanks for watching. So one of my viewers on my YouTube channel, I just found out, is here today, and her favorite K-pop demon hunter girl is Zoe, and it just so happens that Zoe is the last of the trio that I have left. And so when she comes back around, I'm going to surprise her and give this to her. So Emery, if you're watching, I hope you love her. Thank you so much for viewing. Vlog. What up, vlog? Okay guys, I'm about to sign off, but before I do, I just want to show you guys the volume of people that are here to support me this weekend. It makes me so emotional. This is just like a fraction of the people who have come by my booth this weekend, and it just means the world to me. So they all wanted to say bye to the vlog. So 1, 2, 3, say bye to the vlog. Okay guys, I'm officially signing off of Fan Expo New Orleans. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope to see you back here next time. This is the finished result of everything we are left with at the end of the weekend. And so until then, I will be working on lots of new stuff and creating new content for you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow my Instagram at astitchingwitch, and I'll see you here soon. Bye.